Doctor, since we're recording, I want to welcome you, Dr. Hevia.
Thank you.
For being here today. I'm Sheriff Marlon Gussman. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Armando Hevia. I'm an emergency room physician that works both at Osher and East Jefferson General Hospital.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Dr. Hevia. I'm very committed to the safety of everyone at our facility, especially while we're still dealing with COVID-19. It's important that our families and ourselves are safe and healthy. We're offering a flu shot to employees, and I've collected some questions that they had about the flu vaccine. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
The number one question we received is, why should I get the flu vaccine? People let us know that if they receive the COVID vaccine, they have a protected immune system already. So why take the flu vaccine?
Well, I think there's two important things to remember here. Number one, that the COVID vaccine is for COVID viruses or coronaviruses, and that they are specific to that kind of virus. And the flu virus is an influenza virus, which is a completely different kind of virus. So both vaccines work in different ways to protect you against two different viruses. Additionally, it's important to get vaccinated this year because, especially since we really didn't have a lot of flu last year and not necessarily a lot of people got the flu vaccine last year, our immunity has gone down as a group, as a community. So it's important to get the vaccine because as time goes by, your immunity can wane. So, and more smaller kids haven't gotten the vaccine and things along those lines. So it's important so that we can all get more immunity as a group to the virus, to the influenza virus.
Dr. Hevia, I'm sure you've heard this one before. Some employees are concerned that the flu vaccine might give them the flu and that they will feel sick. They worry about the side effects being dangerous. How does the flu vaccine work?
The flu vaccine, they take a flu virus that is created and they basically break it up into smaller pieces, or they do what's called attenuating the virus, which makes it not infectious to us. What you're getting when you do feel flu-like symptoms when you get the vaccine is really your body ramping up as you to fight this new piece of DNA or this new piece of virus that they inject in your arm. It doesn't even go in your nose or anything along those areas. So it's important to know that what your body is doing is it's creating an immune response, which can be fever, aches and pains, and those kind of things. And not necessarily that you've got the flu, but it's your body starting to ramp up your immune system against that little piece of virus that was given to you.
Thanks. Here's another really good one. I know you've heard it before. You get the flu vaccine and the COVID-19 booster shot at the same time. Should you wait and space each one out?
You should definitely get both at the same time if you have that available to you. The reason for that is that, honestly, the symptoms that most people get to either one of the vaccines is usually pretty mild. You may have some aches and pains. You may have a little bit of discomfort in the arm where you get the vaccine. You might even get a little fever. But honestly, the majority of people get very few symptoms from either of the vaccines. And it should go away in the next day or two. So getting them both at the same time while you're there and you've got your arm ready is really a good idea.
Well, I guess I'm with the majority because I got the booster shot, didn't feel any discomfort other than a little bit around my arm.
Yeah.
Speaking of the COVID-19 booster shot, we do not require it at OPSO. Many of our employees have asked about it. I did require the COVID vaccine. Do you recommend a COVID-19 booster shot? And can the COVID-19 vaccine or the flu vaccine worsen any health conditions that you have or give you new health problems?
Sure. So I would recommend, if you definitely qualify for the booster, to go ahead and get the booster. Just like when you're a kid and you get different vaccines, the more that you're exposed to these little fragments that they give you for the vaccine, the better immunity that you have, the more memory of the virus that your body will have, so that when you do actually encounter the real thing, your body will be able to respond in a nice, aggressive way, so it doesn't actually make you feel better. It makes you feel worse for when you actually, if you encounter the COVID virus, you do get infected. Additionally, the vaccine for COVID does not cause any new medical conditions or worsening of any of your current medical conditions. There are some extremely rare side effects that can happen from any vaccine or anything, but those are way common as opposed to what can really happen to you if you were to be exposed to the COVID virus, or even the flu. The flu, even though we all just think it's chicken soup, there are some people that get really sick, and a significant amount of people die from the flu every year as well.
Thanks. Dr. Hevia, some employees had questions about specific health conditions and vaccines. Example, one employee has a son who has a sickle cell anemia trait. Others have chronic conditions like diabetes, kidney problems, asthma. Should people with existing health problems receive vaccines?
Absolutely. It's very important. I mean, that you have these chronic medical conditions, whether it be sickle cell trait or the actual disease, or diabetes, hypertension, or any other chronic medical condition, those things take a toll on your body over the long run. And it's important that if that you could have a higher chance of having a problem with the coronavirus or with COVID if you were to get infected. So anything that you can do to make your body stronger against the actual virus is always a good idea, especially that as you have more medical problems, you have higher risks, possibly lesser immunity, all sorts of issues like that. So it's important to get vaccinated so that when you do encounter the real thing, the actual virus, if you do get infected, that your body can fight it faster.
Thanks. What about children? Should you vaccinate your children? They're going back to school. Some employees have heard that the vaccine will make children sick, or it could even affect fertility and health as the children grow up.
Sure. It is important to vaccinate children. Definitely vaccinate them for the flu. It has not been fully approved for children under the age of 12. The coronavirus vaccine has not been approved for children under 12 yet, but hopefully that's coming soon. There has been no proof that the vaccine of any sort, whether that be the influenza vaccine or the coronavirus vaccine, has any effect on infertility. And like we talked about earlier, you are getting something that is foreign to your body. You are getting a little fragment of the virus, or a little fragment of a little piece of mRNA that is being given to you as part of the vaccine. That is so that your body can actually ramp your immunity up to that. So you will get some symptoms possibly. You will get aches and pains. You might get a fever. You might get aches in your arm where you got the shot. But that does not mean that you got the actual infection, and that does not mean that it's going to affect your body in any other way.
Dr. Hevia, just to kind of rephrase and go into that a little bit deeper, because I know children, that's really a big topic. So what you're saying is that there's no evidence to support any infertility issues or health issues on the COVID-19 vaccine. However, you suggest waiting until it's all of the research is done.
Right. I mean, right now you need to get the approval of the FDA and the CDC for the kids to be able to get the coronavirus vaccine. Right now, if you're 12 years or older, it has been approved. And really the side effects from it or any kind of medical condition from it is almost non-existent. As opposed to having just some mild aches and pains or something, which is completely normal after you get any kind of vaccine. But the complications are very small and rare when it comes to getting the vaccine. Now, children that are younger than 12 have not yet been approved to get the COVID vaccination, but they should get the flu because that has been approved. And again, the very few side effects from anything. I mean, anyone can take a Tylenol, and some people could have an allergic reaction to Tylenol when a drug that we think is pretty benign. So it just depends on how your body is, but the chances of getting a bad reaction to these are extremely low, even if you're a child.
Thank you. And Dr. Hevia, if I got the flu vaccine last year, do I need to get the flu vaccine again this year?
Yes, every year, the one thing about this kind of vaccine is that your immunity does slowly get weaker and weaker through time. So it's always important to get that booster so that your body can remember that that's what we're trying to fight. And so when you see the flu virus, your body can attack it faster and with more aggressively, so that you don't get as many symptoms.
Dr. Hevia, thank you for taking your time and expertise to talk to us. We appreciate your willingness to answer these questions. And I think you cleared up a lot of misinformation. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a good day.